Good evening. Tonight we read from Genesis 8 and Proverbs 13. And in Proverbs 13, I liked verse 20, which says, "Whoever walks with wise people will be wise, but whoever associates with fools will suffer." And I like that scripture because it reminds me of a common, I don't know, idiom, not idiom, but like just a common saying with American parents, like, "Yo, if so and so jumps off of a cliff, are you gonna jump off of it too?" And I feel like you shouldn't even hang around kids who are like I don't know, like that. That's just it's funny, but like I feel like it is true, and you should instead hang with people who are like, if so and so applies themselves and like goes out and is handling business, then won't you do the same? Because like that's the whole point of that saying. Like if you're gonna like if that friend does it, then you're gonna do the same thing. So be around people who are doing at least things that are productive, so that you can be productive as well. And it reminds me, that's what made me think of one of my principals from when I was not in college. They had their car stolen, and apparently like the person who stole the car was like a very young like kid, maybe not even a teenager yet. And I feel like if that kid had surrounded themselves or was around people who they looked up to, that might have been in the books or maybe even sports or whatever, they wouldn't have even been out trying to rob grown people at gunpoint or whatever. And yeah, that's all.
That's important what you're saying, and I am writing a final paper regarding that. It's all connected as far as what you started with, as far as who you hang with, and having people around you who inspire you and model good traits to you. And it all bleeds into intrinsic motivation. And there are ways someone can build their internal reasons for doing the right thing and doing good things. And one of them, studies say, and that's from Psychology Today and other studies, say when you surround yourself, pair up with those who are like-minded, connected, have goals, when you challenge yourself and then you meet that challenge and you're successful, then that is very addictive. And that's the whole thing what gamers do. They carefully design these game systems so that there are always levels of competence that's mastered, and then you get addicted to that high. Well, I said, well, how come this can't be transferred into the school so then kids can learn internally to love that feeling, not to be paid for the A's, not to be compensated with money and all that, and gym shoes, but just that internal system. And when you get that love of learning or that love of accomplishment early, and it's like a high, woo, nothing can stop you. But it's too many external, extrinsic rewards out here, the cars, the money, the bling, and all that can be taken away. But what's inside you never can be taken away. So yeah, thank you, Timothy. That's very appropriate, and it has something to do with what I'm writing. And in Genesis 8, talking about, there's one verse that says something about youth. And again, what you're talking about as far as connecting with your friends and your peers, it says in verse 21, "For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth." So we're born into sin and shaped in iniquity. This is verse 21 of chapter 8 of Genesis. Right? So we all have fallen and, fallen short of the glory of God. We have all messed up, but something you have said that usually this month we would be preparing to go to the National Inspirational Youth Convention. And that's when you would hear so many speakers and workshops and be able to see new sights and go to restaurants and meet new people. It's just such a wonderful time. And I had that when I was young, and now you love it. And you can have your own personal inspirational youth convention yourself, so that you will be able to run on and do great things for the Lord by communing, learning more about Him, and praying and just asking, Lord, what do you want me to do? Yeah, and getting out, and He will answer. He'll show you. What do you have to say about that? Having a personal NIYC.
I like that.
Yeah. Commit to do that. And you don't have to limit it to the 4 days, but it could be all week. All right. Have a wonderful evening in the Lord, communing and having your own convention.